Tonight, News Prime. President Bola Tinubu decorates new acting chief of army staff. Business National Bureau of Statistics says imported rice price jumps by 114%. On the foreign scene, U.S. election, Harris-Trump in tight race. And in sports, FIFA officially awarded $5,000 over the disappointment at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe. A quick reminder, the Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air all night Comsat. Tonight, we begin by telling you President Bola Tinubu has decorated the acting Chief of Army Staff, Olufemi Oloyede, as Lieutenant General. The short ceremony took place in the President's office complex at the State House, Abuja. Tinubu had appointed Oloyede as the acting Chief of Army Staff last Wednesday, as his predecessor, Taoreed Lagbaja, remains indisposed for weeks. Vice President Kashim Shettima has advised young Nigerian men not to allow themselves to be used to perpetrate violence and destroy public and private property. Speaking at the Presidential Villa Abuja while receiving the minors that participated in the protest following their release after President Bola Tinubu's order, Shettima said mainly private and public properties suffered losses during the protest. He noted that despite evidence against the minors, President Tinubu directed their release because he is a caring leader. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has ordered Edo State Security Network to resume operations amid escalating insecurity in the state, a directive that could put him at odds with the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, who had previously suspended the vigilante group ahead of the state's September 21 election. In a statement issued by the State's Commissioner for Communication and Orientation, Chris Neihai, says the governor gave the directive after reviewing a surge in violent crime, particularly homicides, during the State Security Council meeting. Neihai says the governor issued the directive after the State Security Council meeting, during which the council reviewed the recent rise in homicides and other security concerns. The minors arrested and detained over their involvement in the End Bad Governance protest have arrived to the Presidential Villa Abuja to meet with the Vice President Kashim Shettima, as is expected to hand them over to their respective governors, who are expected to facilitate their movement from Abuja to their respective states. Governors of Kaduna, Ubasani and Kano Abba Yusuf were on the ground at the Presidential Villa alongside Ministers of Education Tunji Lausa, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, Nentawe Yilwada, and Minister of Environment, Balarabe Lawal. Minister of Education, Dr. Morufu Olatunji Lausa, has reversed his predecessor's policy of 18 years as entry age for university admission. The policy initiated by Professor Tahiru Mamman, former Minister of Education, had generated controversy. Briefing journalists upon assumption of office, Lausa says the policy was detrimental to the federal government's efforts to reduce the number of out-of-school children in the country. The new minister also said going forward, Nigeria's education system will be 80% practical and 20% classroom as well as theoretical. Chairman, Tangaza Local Government Area of Sokoto State, Isa Salihu Kalenjani, has raised the alarm over a foreign-based armed religious group occupying a forest across 5 local government areas of the state. Speaking to newsmen, Kalenjani said that members of the group had been preaching and imposing some laws in the neighboring villages, as well as offering 1 million naira to youth for membership. The group, locally known as Lakurawa, was said to have migrated from Libya, Mali, and Niger Republic and camped at Sauni Forest, which stretches to Niger Republic. There was an uneasy calm in Ekiti State's judiciary headquarters in Ado, Ekiti, following the death of the state chief judge, Justice Oyewole Adeyeye, who was inaugurated as the Ekiti State Chief Judge on October 11, 2021, and passed away on Monday at the age of 64. Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji also expressed condolences on Adeyeye's demise. Oyembanji, in a statement by his special advisor on media, Yinka Oyebode, described Adeyaye's death as heart-rending and colossal loss for the state. Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has signed into law the supplementary budget for 2024 to meet the new financial commitments of the state government. The supplementary budget of 96,788,100,000 naira, as approved by the State House of Assembly, was signed by the governor at the Executive Council chambers of his office in Akure, the state capital. Queen Agaba has details.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa says the supplementary budget captures the payment of the new minimum wage of 73,000 naira recently approved for workers, as well as the salaries of newly recruited workers across various sectors. He says the supplementary budget reflects the determination of his administration to cater for the welfare of workers and the overall development of the state.
With a project across the state. This feat is not unconnected to the desire of the legislation to continually prioritize the welfare of the good people of Ondo State in benefiting and enjoying the dividend of democracy.
The governor also signed into law the bill providing for the expansion of the board of the Ondo State Oil Producing Areas Development Commission and the amendment of the Ondo State House of Assembly Service Commission law, saying the new law will ensure inclusivity and better equitable representation from the mandate areas. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Well, thank you, Queen Agaba. In the meantime, Governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has assured civil servants in the state that despite financial challenges, his administration will never consider downsizing the workforce. He made this assertion during the 2024 Public Service Lecture held at the International Center for Culture and Events, the Dome in Akure, the state capital. Governor Aiyedatiwa acknowledged the vital role the public service plays in national development, particularly in African countries. He stated that the public service needs to adapt and innovate to meet modern challenges, stating that the time has come for the service to be more proactive, innovative, dynamic, and technology-driven. He stated that the capacity of the institutions and their operators must be enhanced for effective and efficient service delivery.
Let me assure you that our commitment to prompt and regular payment of salaries, allowances, and pensions is sacrosanct. I want to assure you that even with the financial burden that all of these may attract, our administration will never, ever contemplate downsizing the workforce.
The governor also commended public servants for their dedication and cooperation over the past 10 months of his administration. He urged public servants to prioritize resource generation and management, advising them to block financial leakages and discourage frivolous expenditures.
In all honesty, the public service requires to be rejigged and equipped to upscale its roles and processes to meet the trends of the best work practices in public administration.
Earlier, the head of service, Bayo Philip, stressed the essential role of the public service in fostering forward-thinking governance and highlighted the administration's commitment to regular salary payments, pensions, and the provision of 2024 leave bonuses. He noted that this year's celebration emphasized the importance of public service in shaping a sustainable future for Ondo State.
We will strive at all times to discharge our responsibilities to facilitate the accomplishment of the policy focus of this administration. We will live up to the demands of our new mantra. Don't deliver short, don't deliver.
The governor further reiterated his administration's commitment to continue to prioritize the welfare of public servants, even in the midst of other financial demands. Uyi Agmofwegbe reporting for Global Television News. Well, thank you, Kekalomo Kerry. Zamfara State government has provided financial aid to students stranded at the Cyprus International University. The State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Wadatao Madawaki, speaking at a press conference in Abuja, expressed concern over the difficulties faced by the students. He highlighted the challenges the students encountered, emphasizing the need for transparency and accountability. Madawaki said 93 Zamfara indigenes were sponsored to Cyprus International University by the previous administration, led by former Governor Bello Muhammad Metawali. Ondo State Governor and the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate Lucky Aiyedatiwa says his administration will prevent cattle rustling and insecurity in the state to enable farmers go to the farm. The governor made this known during the campaign tour to Akure North local government area. Kekalomo Okere has the rest of the story.
One common issue raised by all traditional rulers of Ondo State during the governor's visit to Akure North to solicit their support in the upcoming gubernatorial election is insecurity. At Iluabu community, Governor Aiyedatiwa says his administration will strengthen the operations of Amotekun to check the issues of insecurity and kidnapping on the farmlands.
Measures have been put in place already to prevent this ravaging by cattle through our Amotekun, and we are strengthening their operations the more so that the issue of farm produce being ravaged or consumed by cattle will be the theme of the park.
It therefore warns any criminal element found wanting will face the wrath of the law.
But we try as much as possible in our state to make sure that crime rate is reduced considerably, and in case there's anyone, the security agents will be able to make arrest and prosecute whoever is found wanting.
The traditional rulers have all chewed their weight behind All Progressive Congress governorship aspirants, promising that the forthcoming election will be free and fair. From Akure, Kekalomo Okere, Global Television News.
The federal government, donor agencies and private individuals have been urged to extend same priority and attention to the Niger Delta as a gift to Borno State in the wake of recent flood disaster in the state. Former Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC, Yakini Nabena, made the call in the statement issued in Abuja. He said the region urgently requires such attention due to ongoing devastating effect of flooding, which has destroyed lives and livelihoods. Nabena specifically appealed to the new Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Nentawe Yutada, and agencies like the National Emergency Management Agency, the National Commission for Refugees, among others, not to close their eyes against the ongoing disaster in the Niger Delta region. Christian Association of Nigeria Ondo State chapter has urged the governor and the governorship candidates of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, to promote justice, equity and fairness in all aspects of his governance in the state. President of the association, Reverend Father Olorunfemi Ologunwa, made the call at a church service to pray for the peaceful conduct of Ondo State governorship election. Kekalomo Okere was there for Global Television.
Speaking at the event, the President, Christian Association of Nigeria Ondo State Chapter, Olorunfemi Ologunwa, urged the governor and the governorship aspirants of All Progressive Congress to address the need of the marginalized and vulnerable people. The clergy further urged the governor to foster economic development, which will create job opportunities and improve living standards.
We, all of us, we urge you, as we aspire for this enviable position in the state, to continue to uphold the principles of integrity, the principles of justice, the principles of compassion.
The clergy further urged the governor to strive and maintain harmony among all citizens, regardless of their religion belief.
As the position you are seeking to acquire, it's not only to govern, just as you said, and you said you promised God. Thank you very much. But to serve the people, ensuring their well-being and prosperity.
In his response, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa pleaded with the brethren to continue to pray and support him in his journey of governing the state.
I'm pleading with my brethren in the Lord, our leaders, George leaders, to continue to pray, to pray for us, to support us in our journey in governing the state, and now that we're also going to election.
The Christian Association of Nigeria Ondo State Chapter reiterated their commitment to pray for leaders who prioritize the welfare of their people. From Akure, Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Members of the Congress of University Academics have called on the federal government to pay their withheld 3.5-month salaries, third-party deductions, and earned academic allowances. The Congress, in a statement by the national president, Dr. Nis Monu, also said the promotion arrears of some members have lingered for over 7 years and that the issue should be looked into. The body also frowned at the exclusion of its members from the committee that will negotiate the 2009 agreement university workers entered into with the government. You're watching the live broadcast of News Prime on Global Television with Uyi Agumofwebe. When News Prime returns tonight, imported rice price jumps by 114%. That's according to the National Bureau of Statistics. We have those details as well as foreign and sports stories for you. Do stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's turn to business. The average price of imported high-quality rice sold loose has surged by 144.77% year-on-year as the federal government delays implementing its duty-free feed policy. This is according to the Selected Food Prices Report from the National Bureau of Statistics. In July 2024, the federal government had announced a 150-day duty-free import window for feed commodities as it stepped up efforts to tackle rising inflation, which had impoverished many Nigerians. President of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Billy Gillis-Harry, says oil marketers have clarified that they are not opposed to Dangote Refinery and are open to purchasing refined premium motor spirit from the facility. Gillis-Harris made the clarification in an interview with journalists, stating that oil marketers would buy products from the refinery if all market conditions are properly negotiated and agreed upon. He also mentioned that marketers plan to meet with Dangote Refinery to solidify discussions and establish the groundwork for a cooperative working relationship. On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump says he feels very confident about winning back the White House. The Republican said after casting his election day ballot in Florida in one of the most contentious U.S. elections in decades. Trump told reporters at a voting facility in West Palm Beach that he feels confident, saying he believes he ran a great campaign against his Democratic rival Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, election day voting began earlier today in the United States after an extraordinary presidential race that will either make Kamala Harris the first woman president in the country's history or hand former President Donald Trump a comeback that sends shockwaves around the world. In this video now showing on your screen, people queue and begin to vote at a polling station in Dearborn, Michigan, as Americans seize their final opportunity to participate in the fiercely contested 2024 presidential race between Democrat Harris and Republican Trump. At the first polling stations opened, Democratic Vice President Harris 60 and Republican former President Trump 78 were dead even in the tightest and most volatile White House contest of modern times. The government of Equatorial Guinea has restricted its citizens from downloading and sharing multimedia files using mobile data on WhatsApp. This decision was followed by the guidelines that the country's government gave to telecommunications companies when it urged them to implement measures to restrict access to inappropriate content. This is coming after the Director General, National Financial Investigation Agency in the country, Batasa Eganga, was arrested for allegedly recording over 400 sex tapes of the wives of notable people in the country. The United Kingdom Health Safety Security Agency has confirmed 2 additional cases of Clade 2 Mpox, bringing the total number of cases in the country to 3. These new infections have been traced to household contacts of the initial case, emphasizing the virus's potential for rapid spread in close contact environments, and both patients are currently receiving specialist care in London. Despite these developments, health officials are maintaining that the overall risk to the general UK population remains low. Meanwhile, a new UK-wide law aimed at creating the first smoke-free generation will be introduced in Parliament as part of a world-leading ban. The proposals come after New Zealand revoked plans to introduce a so-called generational smoking ban that would have stopped sales of tobacco to so many people born after 2008. Health Secretary Wes Streeting said this is a groundbreaking piece of public health legislation, which means that the UK is creating the first ever smoke-free generation, so children growing up will never legally be able to buy cigarettes. The UK's tobacco and vapes bill will prevent anyone born after January 1st, 2009 from legally smoking by gradually raising the age at which tobacco can be bought. And now to sport, where there is some excitement. Favor Ofili has been awarded $5,000 in compensation for the disappointment and emotional distress she had experienced due to the failure of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria AFN officials to register her for 100 meters event at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. This was contained in the published reports of the investigative committee that was set up by the immediate past Minister of Sports, Senator John Eno, on the negative exposures regarding Nigeria at the Paris Olympics. Former Real Madrid striker Karim Benzema says he believes Kylian Mbappe must adapt to playing as a central striker in the Spanish capital, as he cannot displace Vinicius Jr. on the left wing. Mbappe completed the dream move to Madrid this summer after the end of his Paris Saint-Germain contract, but has not yet hit the top form under Carlo Ancelotti. The coach has kept Brazil international Vinicius in his preferred position on the wing and has placed Mbappe, who favors playing on the left, in the center. Benzema told Spanish television show that Mbappe is not a central striker even with the national team, as every time he plays as a number 9, he does not feel comfortable because it is not his natural position. To end News Prime on Global Television tonight, here is a look at the top stories. President Bola Tinubu has decorated and elevated new acting chief of army staff. A Business National Bureau of Statistics said imported rice price jumped by 114%. On the foreign scene, U.S. election, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are in tight race for president. And finally, in sport, we told you Favor Ofili has been awarded $5,000 over the disappointment at the Paris 2024 Olympics Games. And that's all we'll have for you on News Prime tonight. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365, Star Times 276, and free to air on Night Comes Heart. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Muyi Agumofwegbe. Thank you so very much for watching. We'll see you again.